The Mac is back. The Mac is back. So it's the Mac versus the Max. Hey guys, welcome to my channel where we talk everything sport. MMA, WWE, football. But today, we're going to be doing the prediction of UFC 329. Why starts at UFC 329? The biggest icon of sport entertainment is back. Guess who? Connor McGregor. Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. Connor McGregor is back and he's going to be taking on Max Holloway. Guys, that is going to be one of the toughest matches of Connor McGregor's return. In fact, before we even get into that, I'm going to go through some of the fights in the card so that I can give you my prediction. If you're an MMA lover and you like to bet on some of these things, I'm going to give you my prediction. Brief history about Connor McGregor and Max Holloway. So these two guys fought 13 years ago, where Connor McGregor ended up winning the fight. So this is actually a rematch that is 13 years in the making. And Connor McGregor suffered an injury that had him away from the fight game for about 5 years, while Max Holloway has gone on to win the featherweight championship, the BMF championship. But right now, Max Holloway is coming off a loss against Charles Oliveira, where he lost his BMF title. The thing that most people don't know, these guys used to fight in featherweight, but right now, they are going to be fighting in welterweight. Will they get their cardio? Will they be able to go the 5 rounds? Is there going to be a knockout? So I'm going to be giving you guys a prediction about the card, not just Max Holloway versus Conor McGregor. Okay guys, so I'm going to start from the main card. The first fight is going to be King Green, whose former name used to be Bobby Green, versus Terrence McKinney. Why this fight is so important is because these guys, they used to be boys, they used to be training partners. But Terrence McKinney said he wanted to fight Bobby Green. Guess what, guys? At the end of the day, these boys, they are prize fighters. It's all about the money. We can be friends, we can be teammates, but when it comes to exchanging hands, you're gonna do what's good for business. So I feel like Bobby Green is a bit angry at Terrence McKinney for actually taking the fight, because as boys, he never thought they were going to fight each other. So my prediction for that one is going to be Terrence McKinney, because I feel like Terrence McKinney has had multiple first round finishes. If the fight goes above the first round, then maybe Bobby Green might end up winning. But I feel like this fight is for Terrence McKinney and he's going to finish it in the first round. Then we have a very good boxer, Brandon Royval versus Lonia Kavanagh. Well, Kavanagh just busted into the UFC scene recently and he's been actually good. So Brandon Royval should win, but Kavanagh, I feel like Royval is going to actually make a mistake, which is going to make Kavanagh take advantage of it and probably knock him out. So my prediction for Royval versus Kavanagh, I think Kavanagh is going to win the fight. The next is Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Batista. Mario Batista has always had boring fights. Most times whenever Mario Batista is fighting, I fall asleep. But Corey Sandhagen is actually a contender. Would there be a knockout in the fight? No, I feel like the fight is going to go the full 3 rounds, because it's not a championship fight. So the fight might go a full 3 rounds, but at the end of the day, Mario Batista is going to win by decision, because it's been a while since we saw Corey Sandhagen actually finish a fight. And Mario Batista always goes for takedowns, clinches, and ends up winning by decision. So my pick for that particular fight is Mario Batista by decision. Then I'm going to be talking about the co-main event. This particular one is going to be England versus France. Will that happen in the World Cup? I don't think so. But we're going to be seeing England versus France. So we're going to have the God of War, Benoit Saint-Denis versus Paddy, the Baddie Pimblett. So that's going to be a tough fight for Paddy because Benoit Saint-Denis is not a waka pass. Let me say it like in my in my African slang. Benoit Saint-Denis is coming off a win. Paddy Pimblett is coming off a loss. Paddy Pimblett just fought for the interim light heavyweight champion, which he lost to Justin the Highlight Gaethje, which is actually a tough fight. Not everybody fights Gaethje and gets to the end of the fight. But Benoit Saint-Denis is coming off a huge win against what's his name?
A few moments later.
So Benoit Saint-Denis is coming off a huge win against Dan Hooker, which he finished the fight. It wasn't even a close fight. He obliterated Dan Hooker. So what's my pick for the fight? It's actually going to be very tough to pick. But I feel like at the end of the day, Paddy Pimblett will get the W. So I feel Paddy Pimblett will get the W. And if you ask me how, I think Paddy Pimblett will get the W via submission. So watch out for that. Paddy Pimblett would win the fight via submission. Benoit Saint-Denis usually comes hard in the first few rounds, but if the fight goes longer, Paddy Pimblett definitely is going to win by submission. Drum roll. Which brings us to the main event. Return of the Mac versus Max is Blessed. So Connor McGregor versus Max Holloway. Like I said, guys, these guys, they have a history. They fought 13 years ago, and Connor McGregor actually dealt with Max Holloway. So this is 13 years in the making. Connor McGregor has been out with an injury for 5 years. Max Holloway has been beating everybody in his path until he met the Lion of Brazil, Charles Oliveira. So he's coming off a loss where he lost his BMF title. But you can't write off Connor McGregor. Yes, he's coming off a 5 years hiatus or 5-year injury, but the media, the press conference has been great. Conor McGregor has come with a new personality, new energy. He's not even phased. Conor McGregor, that's the thing. Conor doesn't look like he has lost a day. But Max Holloway is always the calm one, just peaceful. Conor is trying to make it a thing, make it a battle. Conor is trying not to even be jovial with anybody. But at the end of the day, when both of them get into the cage and it's locked, it's going to be one-on-one. The only person who's going to stand between them is the referee. And when the octagon door is locked, you gotta fight. This fight is actually a good stylistic matchup for both fighters because they are both strikers. So nobody is going to be actually worrying about defending takedowns because both guys are, strikers. Conor McGregor, does a little bit of karate. But like I said, Conor McGregor is coming off an injury, an ankle injury. So would he be able to throw kicks? So that's part of it worries me because yes, Conor McGregor can throw hands. Max Holloway is a boxer. In fact, some might say Max Holloway is the best boxer in the UFC because he has the record for the highest strike thrown in a match. So would Conor McGregor be able to take his karate stand? Will he be able to, check leg kicks? Would he be able to kick? That's something we would have to see. But, well, call me a dreamer, but I feel like Conor McGregor gets this. Trust me, I hate when two fighters I love are fighting. But you gotta pick one. And for me, it's Conor McGregor. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on Conor McGregor because he's been away for 5 years. Not just away for 5 years, he's been injured. But check this out. Conor McGregor has been resting. Not like he has been resting, he has been sparring. Max Holloway has been fighting and he has taken a lot of damage. Max Holloway was never knocked down until he faced Ilia Topuria, which, the match ended in a knockout. So Max Holloway has been knocked down in the last 2 or 3 matches, which, at the end of the day, it shows that your chin is starting to get cracked. Conor, on the other hand, has been resting and he's back with a lot of energy. He's back, guys. And as an MMA fan, Conor McGregor has had a huge impact on. In fact, Conor McGregor the gates for the UFC fight, according to Dana White, Conor McGregor has broken the record. The last 2 fights combined together are not even up to the record, the gateway that the UFC have broken. So the sport needs Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor doesn't need the sport. In fact, think about it. Conor McGregor is a billionaire right now. He doesn't necessarily need to fight. He's doing it for the love of the game. So imagine someone is a billionaire and still comes back to get punched. What does that say? It's for the love of the game. So I feel like Conor McGregor is actually going to win this fight. And I don't see this fight going the distance. I feel like this fight is going to end in a knockout. Conor McGregor is my pick to win. Yes, Max Holloway is a very good striker. He's a prize fighter. He's a good puncher. He's a good boxer. But volume-wise, Conor McGregor has the power advantage. When was the last time we saw Max Holloway actually knock out anybody? Yes, he fought against Gaethje, and in the last 10 seconds, they went at it and, no holds barred, and Justin Gaethje got knocked out. But if you look at the history, Conor McGregor has always had that power. He had that power as a featherweight. He had that power as a lightweight. And now, coming into welterweight, just think about it, the kind of power he's going to be packing. So my prediction for the main event is going to be Conor McGregor by knockout in the 2nd round. So thank you for staying with me. Please stay tuned. This is my channel. Please like, subscribe, share, guys. And also, please let me know your prediction in the comments. And if there's anything you want me to talk about MMA, sports, please put it in the comments and I'll give it a shout. Thank you very much, guys.